Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Let's Talk About It. So, in today's episode, we're going to pick up from where we left in the last video on suicide and suicidal thoughts. And our topic today is coping with suicidal thoughts. So, if you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, just know that you are not alone. It's very important to seek help and support, so that you can at least have some ease dealing with such difficult situations. So, without wasting much of your time, let's get into the video. So here are some tips on how you can cope with suicidal thoughts. So the first step you want to take is reach out for help. Yes, you have to reach out for help. And I know that a lot of people, in this, modern world now, everyone is all about their own issues, but just know that there are people there who are able to listen. If you are feeling overwhelmed, hopeless, just try to reach out to a friend, family member, or seek professional help from a therapist or a mental health professional, because these are the people who can actually lay out some strategies for you on how you can actually cope with such thoughts. The second important step that you want to take is you have to practice self-care, and this includes your mental health, emotional health, um, physically, even when it comes to relationships. Okay, because I say even when it comes to relationships, because there are actually some people who actually trigger such thoughts in you. So you really have to make sure that at least you stay away from such people, because the negative energy and everything, and it doesn't help. So you really have to surround yourself with people who actually make you want to live, make you want to enjoy life, instead of hanging out with people who make you feel less of yourself, like you are useless. You need to be around people who actually make you feel useful, make you feel loved, not used. Okay, so it is very important also that you look into your relationship. It might be friends and family. Sometimes some family members, they can be really cruel, so you have to kind of at least distance yourself until maybe you know how to deal with them, and on their projections, like their opinions about you, because people's opinions, yeah, they do matter, because like everyone is entitled to their opinions, but it's also important that that that's just their opinion. Have your own opinion about yourself, learn to love yourself, because that's the first step. You know yourself, you love yourself, because actually it took me a lot of time to really realize that I didn't actually need love from someone else, because I had it within me. So the moment I, like I accepted that this was me, like with all my imperfections, and I learned to love myself. So whatever other people, said about me, how I looked and everything, like anything that just makes you feel like you are ugly, you are useless, like those things stopped, you know affecting me. Like it was just I would just laugh about it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's just your opinion, I know, but I've learned to love myself, my whole being, and it has helped me also to love others, because you can't really give out what you don't have. So you have to give yourself as much love as possible. The third step is you have to challenge your negative thoughts. Suicidal thoughts can be fueled with negativity, like negative thoughts. That's that's just something that triggers, like you feel like everything around you is just not going right, like everything around you sucks. So once you know how to challenge your negative thoughts and try to think of realistic things, like if such thoughts, like the thoughts that you are having are helpful or they are like realistic. Once you recognize if they are helpful or they are draining, then you'll be able to focus on things that matter. Like you can think of the present. You have to sometimes accept the past. If it was full of negativity, you just have to make peace with it, and it won't disturb you as much as it disturbs you when you haven't accepted it and you still dwell on it. The negativity, like when you are being negative about some things, you'll be questioning everything. You'll be like, nobody loves me, nobody cares for me. But at least have a mantra like, I'm loved, like I love myself. Because once you love yourself, then you can recognize when someone else truly cares for you and loves you. So you have to at least say such slogans like, I'm loved, I'm cared for, there are people who need me, because truly there are people who need you. Okay, and there's a purpose why you are alive. So it's very important that you prevent yourself, how to prevent such thoughts so that you don't end up doing the end result of the suicidal thoughts. Fourth step is create a plan. And this plan is not just any plan, but it is safety plan. Safety plan, you have to, you know, see, like strategize on what you will do when such thoughts, just, pop up. You have to have a plan on what you will do, how you will do with it. If, like you can have an emergency contact list, like who you can call when you are feeling, like when you have all those negative thoughts. It can be your mom, your friend, your teacher, or like your therapist. Yes, because sometimes being alone doesn't help, so talking to someone will actually divert you from thinking about what like those negative thoughts, those suicidal thoughts. Like, yes, because someone else will come up with, or maybe they'll tell you something that is interesting, right? So yes, it is very important that you create a safety plan and strategize on how you are going to handle such events. The last thing that I would recommend is getting professional help. Now, not everyone can, like afford having, a therapist, but for those who can afford, even though you can't afford, as I said in my previous video, there are some volunteers, okay? There are some um, clubs that you can join on, like people who went through the same thing. So getting professional help is very important, because someone who specialized in that area will really give you a plan, like a strategy on how to really cope with suicidal thoughts, with the negativity, with opinions from others. So they'll really like give you like the professional help. You have to remember that suicidal thoughts are overwhelming and scary, but they are treatable. Yes, they are very much treatable. You don't have to hesitate about asking for help. Silence is violence, and silence actually kills you more than like when you talk about it with someone else. And you can also maybe write down what you are feeling, because it will also help you like process and see what you are dealing with. I just want you to remember that I'm not a therapist. These are just like some of the things that like I had to do, of course, in order to like become who I am today, like become lively and positive about certain things. So that's it for today's video. I hope you found this information helpful.